These sensitive ass that just came out of this little, I don't know where they come from, but niggas be getting wild emotional. Niggas be turning into big super beasts. Just be trying to have fun.
If Busta ever try to film me, hit you with no lanes to what you saying, yo. See with that 9 milli, what the devil, yo. Yeah, I do his better than him. He better not play with me. I will and perform Busta Rhymes show.
Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
You've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now.
I'm walking through the crowd and somebody grabs my hand. Just softly put their hand in my hand and just hold it. So I look, and I see this big chain that said flip mode. I look up and it's Busta Rhymes.
I'm not gonna say it on there. They call them fun boys. They say we gotta have some fun boys in the section for Busta. Bro, Busta Rhymes wanted him in his section so bad. Like, what? Pulled him to the section, like through the rope, and tucked him off in the corner. So I'm looking like, well, he ain't come with us.
Now that we already know that 50 Cent has been gathering receipts from Diddy and his FO parties for years, Busta Rhymes is allegedly out here threatening 50 Cent over some incriminating footage that will be included in 50's upcoming Diddy documentary. However, what really bothers Busta is that sources claim there is actual footage of him deeply involved with Diddy, but that's only the tip of the iceberg. A few months ago, Big Homie CC, Busta's former bodyguard, came out and said that Busta had a taste for fun boys for years and that the club scene was aware of what was going on. According to Big Homie, club promoters would specifically line up young men to keep Busta entertained in VIP whenever he came through. And now it appears that 50 Cent may have the receipts to support his claims. It's beginning to feel like Busta might be the next person to be fully exposed, and with 50 producing this Netflix documentary, Busta's threats aren't going to do much, if anything, as he probably just got a bigger role in 50's film. So what's really going on here? Why is Busta panicking all of a sudden? And what does 50 Cent have on him that's making him crash out? According to sources close to the situation, there is footage from a party that shows Busta and Diddy in a full-blown freakout with multiple men who are allegedly former employees that Diddy hired. But wait, there's more.
Busta, I got to ask you, there has been so much going on in the music industry pertaining to Diddy. How closely are you paying attention to his case, the allegations?
I don't pay attention to none of it. I just kind of like to pay attention to the truth.
You already know that 50 Cent wasn't going to remain silent amid all the commotion and accusations surrounding Busta Rhymes before he and Busta took the stage at the Humor and Harmony Comedy Festival. 50 was afraid that Busta would appear wearing something reminiscent of the notorious yellow outfit from the 1999 MTV VMAs. He even uploaded a picture of Busta wearing that outrageous yellow outfit and wrote, "Busta can't wear this to Humor Harmony Busta. I don't care who made the outfit. You gotta come with some flyish to Shreveport, LL. I keep telling y'all, the blessings don't stop, so we ain't never going to stop," Busta wrote in response to the AI-generated picture of 50. "I assumed it was Father's Day, and you were out there looking like this. Don't let me know how you were getting ready for Shreveport." In the mirror. At the time, it seemed like 50 and Busta were just making jokes. But now there are rumors that 50 was serious, and that he may have some crazy footage of Busta with Diddy. Before we get into that though, we need to discuss the claims about fun boys in Busta's VIP area. If you don't know what I mean, I'm referring to Busta's former bodyguard. Huge Buddy Big Homie claims that Busta has been moving real suspicion around young males for years. CC just got down with the art of communication and termed Busta a super zest monster. This has long been a trade secret, particularly among club organizers. It is said that whenever Busta was hired for a party, promoters were aware of the vibrations and made sure his VIP had entertainment.
I seen you talking about Busta Rhymes before.
Oh yeah.
Some of your videos.
Oh yeah. Super zest monster. For sure, bro. That's my thing, bro. Like, this been common knowledge though. Like, all my promoter homies would always say, man, we gotta bring some more. We gotta bring some, what they call them. I'm not gonna say it. They call them fun boys. They say we gotta have some fun boys in the section for Busta. Cause you know, our bodyguard, if the Ghostface killed record before. You feel me? And being around him, you hear things. You feel me? I'm like, damn. And my auntie like the biggest Busta Rhymes fan. You feel me? Like every cookout she playing it. All his little fast rapping, all of that, him and Craig Mack playing that.
Big Homie also revealed a wild night out at a club with actor-model Don Benjamin and a gay man who was one of Don's friends. Big Homie claimed that as soon as Busta Rhymes' eyes met this man's, it was time to go. He claimed that Busta wasted no time in snatching the man into his VIP area and worse, wouldn't let him leave. Busta was reportedly all over that man the entire night to make sure he stayed close, and it seems that this wasn't an isolated incident. According to Big Homie, club promoters were aware of the routine and had to gather the best men for his section whenever Busta pulled up, because once he locked on someone, it was over.
Bro, on my soul, I'm out with a group of people. At this time, I was with Don Benjamin. You familiar with him?
No, never heard of him.
Model dude, like a model guy. He be doing like some rapping and stuff. His name Don Benjamin. I'm out with Don Benjamin. And the club we ended up going to, Busta Rhymes in there. So it was a little lawyer guy that was with us. And the little lawyer guy we was with, you know, he was a gay dude, super cool, feel me, good guy. Bro, Busta Rhymes wanted him in his section so bad. Like, what? Pulled him to the section, like through the rope, tucked him off in the corner. So I'm looking like, well, he ain't come with us. But I know he was in the little group. So if I go out with somebody, like a few people, I try to make sure everybody get there together and leave together. Oh, he stayed with them. He stayed in there with them, for sure. You ain't never heard about this before, have you? Bro, this is common knowledge. If you in the mix, like I've been in the mix, you know this.
Big Homie added that Busta was raving about the man all night, calling him cute, and that once he had him on VIP, he wasn't leaving.
So, I hear somebody say, oh, he's cute, I want him. So when I heard that, I turned around, like, he just say that? You got all this jewelry to attract some men in here? You wild. Shocked me. But sure enough.
That was the guy that Busta Rhymes pulled back?
Pulled him into the section. And then they walled him off like this man. I'm like, damn. And that little dude was so happy. He couldn't believe that. He was shocked.
Now, Big Homie claims that this is where things become even stranger. For more than 10 years, the industry has been aware of Busta's true preferences. When asked why no one has ever exposed him, Big Homie responded, "It's simple. Everyone wants to be in that VIP section with Busta." But then Big Homie dropped another bombshell that doesn't get nearly enough attention. Busta's alleged history of putting his hands on women, and he hinted there might be a deeper reason for it. Like, a lot of DL men Busta might be carrying some resentment toward women.
How long has it been like this known about Busta Rhymes?
Oh, I knew about this like in 2012. I knew about this in 2012.
How come you think nobody else speaks up on it or says anything?
Because, bro, these people admire these people so much. They want to make sure they in the section, they at the club, they at the video shoot, they can get backstage. That matters most to them. That matters so much to people. It's crazy. Like, but if you notice, like, there's countless videos of Busta Rhymes getting mad at females for just being girls. This girl touched him one time, he go crazy, throw a drink on her and everything. See what I'm saying? Like, what? Why you getting mad at females? You go to these guys, they in the club, go to their section. It's all men in the section. That ain't weird to nobody. I'm going to the bar, sorry. Text me if it get dangerous. But there's all this club security in here, like nothing's finna happen. Nobody wanna come with you guys, bro. Like, when I get jobs from people who really got a threat on their life, I move way there. But man, you ask, bro, anybody that's in the mix, bro, like you know, bro. Most of these dudes, bro, putting on a major act. They don't wanna be themselves.
It's crazy.
They'll get mad at you for buying bottles of champagne to give the girls. They'll get mad, oh, we don't want these bottle rats in our section. What are we here for? Why are y'all here then? What are y'all here for? Just because y'all got booked to be here, okay, but sometimes they not booked. They just in there. And what they looking for, it ain't gonna be what you thinking of, oh God, scene.
However, if you believe that this is just one bodyguard vying for influence, think again. In 2020, a number of guys shared their own outrageous Busta experiences on social media. Journey on YouTube, Ali stated that Busta attempted to pick him up in New York City as he was on his way to a Halloween celebration.
I'm walking, New York City, going to a club. It was Halloween weekend, everybody was out. And it was this party we was going to, me, my boy, and his friend that had came in from Detroit. And I'm walking across the street and Busta Rhymes just grabbed my hand. And he holding my hand. Now I ain't know it was Busta at first. Busta Rhymes tall. I'm sure I came up to about right here. So the first thing I noticed was this big flip mode chain that was blinding me. So I look at the chain and I look up, I'm like, oh, what's up, Busta? What's up? Now he holding my hand the whole time. I'm like, what's up, man? Like, what you doing? And I was like, oh, me and my people, we about to go to this club around the corner. What's up, man? And then I noticed throughout my peripheral vision, the side eye, this big bodyguard in black. Just standing there, looking around, looked at me, still looking around. Meanwhile, Busta still got my hand in his hand.
He initially believed it was just a typical club setting, but Busta personally asked him to a VIP event, and things were about to get much more fascinating than he had anticipated.
He says, I'm about to go in this club. We got a section, you can come in with me if you want. And I'm like, word, for real? Like, that's what's up. Like, he was like, yeah. I was like, well, I gotta, tell my people. I was like, I come in, you know what I'm saying? He was like, okay, just let me know, tell them that you coming in there to meet with me and come on up. And I was like, bet. So, of course I'm excited, you know what I'm saying? Busta Rhymes is one of my favorite artists of all time.
Things took a crazy turn when Tripp got into a heated argument with his friend, who wasn't cool with the idea of sliding to Busta's party. The argument got so out of control that he ended up scrapping the entire club plan, and his friend was on one, leaving him stranded in the middle of New York City. Now, fast forward to 2021, and the streets began speculating that Busta was back outside allegedly trying to pick up men. And to make matters worse, paparazzi allegedly caught him leaving a gay pride event with a trans woman. To make matters worse, Orlando Brown recently left the internet in ruins once more after claiming he smashed numerous industry men, including Diddy, Busta, and a long list of others.
We made love. We made love.
Who you made love with?
Bow Wow, Busta Rhymes.
You just told me you see Busta in the airport too. Never from trying to act like he didn't know you. You smashed Drake?
No, I never smashed.
Oh, you made love to Drake.
What's that name? Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard. Usher. Usher's a gusher. And,
What the? Why you not naming them?
I'm telling you, bro. It's my dad's friends. My dad sent his baddest friends on me.
Who's your dad?
Lucifer.
I'm aware that most people don't take Orlando seriously when he rants like this. But if you listen to some of his more recent interviews, in which he comes across as much more reasonable, you might begin to realize that he's actually making a lot of sense.
A documentary comes out called Quiet on Set.
I never had to work for Nickelodeon. I work for Disney. We don't do those things.
Oh man, not the exhale.
Well, shout out to Nick Cannon. I won't do his money like that. What I will do is I'll say that the owner of Nickelodeon is Jeffrey Epstein, the guy that they've been trying to follow. And okay, now look at the characteristics of everything they said, and then look at everything that he did. I'm not gonna do that to Nick's money though. That's my brother. Like, I'm not doing that to Tito.
Now, Busta possibly being on the DL is one thing, but what really needs to be talked about is how, just like Diddy, he's got a shady history of putting his hands on people over the pettiest things. His legal troubles go way back to 2006 when the prosecutors tried to hit him with a weapons charge over an incident with a random passerby, and get this. According to Billboard, they claimed Busta had a whole machete stashed in his ride. Now fast forward to 2007, and Busta was back in trouble. This time he got arrested on a misdemeanor for allegedly roughing up his former driver over a money dispute. He eventually pleaded guilty to both charges and ended up with 3 years of probation. But the mess didn't stop there. In 2009, the New York Post exposed that Bua had to cough up $75,000 to a fan who claimed Busta launched water bottles at him and had his bodyguard punch him in the face, and get this. The fan said all he did was try to leave Busta's show before it finished. The man explained that he pulled up hoping to see Fabulous, but when Fab didn't show, he stood up to head out while Busta was finishing his set. That's when Busta snapped, allegedly yelling, "Get down, I'm not good enough for you," before throwing 2 more water bottles at him and allegedly directing his bodyguard to punch him. So knowing Busta's wild temper, it's no surprise he's been so close with Diddy since the 90s. But besides their shared anger issues, these two allegedly have something else in common: a taste for much younger men. And let's be real, Busta's whole stance on this Diddy situation is looking very suspicious. See, when the allegations against Diddy first started bubbling, Busta jumped out to tell fans they should reserve opinions.
Busta, I got to ask you, there has been so much going on in the music industry pertaining to Diddy. How closely are you paying attention to his case, the allegations?
I don't pay attention to none of it. I just kind of like to pay attention to the truth. I don't really like to speak on situations that I'm not well versed in, and that's not really my situation. You know what I'm saying? But I wish the best for everyone involved. God bless everyone involved. And, you know, I think that we should all kind of be a little more mindful of how much we speak on other things when it's as sensitive as this. People don't keep in mind the effect of what their opinion can have. And I think it's really, really important that we reserve our opinions until we understand what the undisputed truth is.
Have you had the chance to speak to Diddy?
I spoke to him a few times before, like, it got a little out of control. A lot of the times when people are going through things, you gotta respect the space and the privacy that they need to process how they're gonna deal with the things that they're going through. I just wanna see the right end result for everyone.
Now, why would you even feel the need to say that unless you were also subtly defending someone? When we're talking about the DVSA and alleged multiple victims, including children, telling people to mind their own business makes you look really suspicious. However, fast forward to the present, when the Diddy scandal has blown up with federal raids, numerous lawsuits, and eventually an official indictment, and suddenly Busta is acting as though he never knew Diddy. He may be avoiding questions and acting as though he doesn't know what's going on, but let's face it, he won't be able to ignore this for much longer, because the streets are saying Busta Rhymes will be among the names mentioned in 50 Cent's upcoming Diddy documentary. If there's one thing we know about 50, it's that he never forgets that he is one of the few rappers who outright refused to go out with Diddy, and that he was aware of the dubious activities taking place behind closed doors.
Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
You've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now, and then no one was, you know, they're just, why is he saying this? And now it's coming out like crazy. I mean,
but I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated. So.
Was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Obviously, I know what was going on there, but is there a reason you never did?
I'm just not with all that freaky shit. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal. You go to the 90s, and Keefy D said he paid him to Tupac.
Yeah.
So look, like, you get the craziest accusations. You had TMZ created a docuseries that went to Tubi, but the series is saying the downfall of Diddy.
But C50 has always been a man who moves strategically, and just because he wasn't in the mix doesn't mean he wasn't paying attention. You already know he was watching from the sidelines, taking mental notes on every rapper who said yes to Diddy's invitations, and now 50's time has finally come to expose everything. Sources are now saying this upcoming documentary on Diddy is about to be the industry's worst nightmare, and nobody is safe. The streets have been whispering for years about certain rappers who allegedly freaked off with Diddy, and according to insiders, Busta Rhymes' name is definitely on that list. Now, we still don't have an official release date for 50's documentary, but what we do know is that it is being produced by Gunit Films and Television Inc., and is set to drop on Netflix. We also know it's being directed by Alex Stapleton, an Emmy award-winning filmmaker and executive producer, which means this is going to be high-quality, no-nonsense storytelling. And here's where it gets even messier. Bua apparently already knows what's coming. Sources close to him are saying that he's been trying to pull some strings behind the scenes, even warning 50 to keep his name out of the documentary. But let's be honest, Busta's warnings probably just made 50 double down. And if you know anything about 50, then you already know that he thrives on proving a point. The more you try to silence him, the harder he comes for you. So if Busta really is on that list, there's no way 50 is cutting him out now. Now the real question is, what is Busta so worried about if there's nothing to hide? Why not just ignore it and keep it moving? So let me know what you think about all this. Is Busta really involved in Diddy's mess, or is his name just being thrown around? And more importantly, do you think 50 Cent's documentary is about to shake the industry to its core? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't miss out on this next